and Service Fun, not Tractors, the voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on The Zone.
Always the hottest, coolest time. Let's go to Schlitterbahn.
For our family, let's face it, there's only one hottest, coolest time. Parking and tubes are free, and Schlitterbahn lets you bring a picnic. Schlitterbahn Water Parks. Get discounted tickets at schlitterbahn.com.
We can go where the rivers connect us. We can go where the current takes us. Bring the good times home. Let's go to Schlitterbahn.
Questions, comments, or opinions about anything and everything Zone.
I want some answers, and I want...
All right, coming at you, 3 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back to The Zone.
I miss the words we used to say.
This is The Zone 102.7 and Sports Radio 1150. Live from Travis Field, Bryan, Texas, for this friendly fixture between your Cavalry against today's opposition from Houston, Regals SCA. Just a quick word on the Regals before this game gets going. They're playing in the National Premier Soccer League. They're from Houston, Texas, like I said. They play at Kipp High School. If any of you know Kipp High School in Houston, 1,000 capacity in their stadium. They've actually formed quite a few years ago. However, they had a one-year hiatus, and they announced their return for 2015. They took a year off in 2014. 2016 was their first year back in the NPSL, where they finished 9th out of 11, and they haven't been too much better since then. In 2018 so far, they've played 8 and won just 2 of those. They've scored 11, however, in their first 4 games, they didn't score a single goal, and they've actually conceded 30, and they conceded 9, which on a Tuesday. So if you talk to us about the Cavalry, what you think we're going to be scoring that many tonight?
Yeah, I think they can. So that was just 2 days ago. They conceded 9.
Yes, sir.
So not only did they concede 9, they might be a little exhausted from that and from that. But and what the 2 friendlies, if I'm correct, the 2 friendlies Cavalry has scored 7 and 11, which is an average of 9. So we could almost go like, what'll be the over/under on goals, and we could say 9. And I'm going to go over.
It's
I'm
looking good.
going to go over with that. And you know, as a pause here for the national anthem.
Yes, sir. If you were listening to that, listeners, that was an extra special rendition of the national anthem. We're going to take a very quick break here on The Zone, a very short one. Then we'll be back with starting lineups and the game. You're listening to The Zone and Sports Radio. Don't go anywhere.
When you think of Texas
Did we ever
A&M
get
athletics
anything
on
on
the
that?
zone,
Do we ever get anything on that?
I'm not
think
sure.
of the businesses sponsoring the games of your favorite team.
Businesses like Pioneer Steel, Prosperity Bank, Atkinson Toyota, Schulte Roofing, and Hargrove Insurance.
Here's a big gig 'em to these sponsors of
you make
Texas
this fake,
A&M athletics.
ahead and do the
You're
starting
listening to
lineups
the
if you
flagship station.
Well, are you
I
going
got-
to do the? I mean, we're not going to do anything on the Regals, are we? Since we don't know who they are.
I'll do it as the game starts.
Going out? Plan a sober
Adam?
ride.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
quick can you make this?
I can come back right after this.
Okay, thank you.
Getting the next round? Please call a cab. Getting behind the wheel? Stop. Stop. Stop.
Don't wait until it's too late. Plan a sober ride while you can at soberrides.org. Drink, drive, go to jail. A message from TxDOT.
For more information on the Zone 102.7 and Sports Radio 1150, visit zone1150.com now.
Welcome back to Travis Field here in Ryan College Station. I'm Zach Carr. Joined by me tonight is Rich Coombe as we bring you live coverage of this fixture between your Brazos Valley Cavalry FC playing at home against the visitors of Regals SCA. The starting 11 for the Cavalry tonight: Noah Abrams in goal. At right back, Grayson DuPont. Your centre backs are Luis Garza and Insegbe Marvin. I'm going to be calling him Marvin for the sake of the game. Left back, Jonathan Diaz. In a midfield three, we have your captain, Mitchell Cadenas, Billy Jones and Angel Paeta. Your front three on the right wing, Kevin Rodriguez. Left wing, Gregorio Romero. And up front, Miguel Velasquez. We only have 5 substitutes tonight, and they are Gabriel Gersi, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Mason Struser, Steve, and I hasten to say we're calling him Steve because he has an extremely long name. He's from Cameroon, and we'll be calling him Steve as our replacement keeper. And Bernard Kozia from London, who plays for Chelsea under-18s. We are very much looking forward to seeing him come off the bench. Who are you most looking forward to, Rich?
Yeah, I like the. You know, we always. It seems like in these friendlies we're always debating on whether or not when he's gonna put in all his subs, because by that time the game's essentially done and dusted. So I'm hoping that this time that they'll be putting in those subs at halftime so we can see the Kosia and
Steve.
Steve, yeah. Steve makes it easy. I'm just calling him Steve. I mean, when you've got when you've played for your country's under, no matter what level, you must have some ability.
And here we go at Travis Field. The referee blows the whistle. The sun is low. The shadows are long, and we are underway. Your Brazos Valley Cavalry are playing in their home kit of red shirts, red shorts, and black socks, and they are playing away from us here in the grandstand. And the visitors of Houston Regals are playing in black and white stripes, very familiar to Newcastle United of England. Black shorts and black socks too. Not much that we know about this Regals team, the visiting team. They only showed up 20 minutes before kickoff. We were very doubtful this game would go ahead. However, I can tell you that David Perez is their manager, and they have a real mixed team. Their youngest player being 17, their oldest player being born in 1987. So it really is a mix. Most of them from Mexico, a few Americans, but largely an international team that we see playing here at Travis Field. And here they have the ball in the Cavalry half. Their number 8 goes forward. Sorry, I don't have names for you listeners. As soon as we do get them up here in the press box, we will alert you as to what their team is. However, for now, we can only tell you the Cavalry players.
Well, we'll give them this. They've gotten off to the best start of the 3 friendlies because it didn't take long for the Cavalry to score a goal in the other 2 friendlies. But
and they've taken a quick free kick over the top. They've lofted it in.
Offside.
And offside, the first offside of the night.
It's a good attempt, though. Nice try. It was actually a pretty good ball and taken well by the Regal right winger.
4-3-3 being used by Cavalry tonight. Assistant coach Daniel Roberts is at the helm tonight. That 4-3-3, we struggled early on in the season, but the last few games, Cavalry, it's really beginning to prove to be effective.
Yeah, the only thing is it's always different players. And I think that's one reason why they had started playing a little bit better. That back line had gotten to be a little more consistent with the same at least 3 of the same 4 guys, and maybe one other thrown in there that hadn't played with them. But I think familiarity, especially on the back line, is a key, and I think that was one reason why the Cavalry started to play a little bit better.
And here come the Cavalry. Grayson DuPont runs forward. Running onto it is Rodriguez down this right wing. He just gets into the Regals box. However, 3 of them gang up on him, and he gets tackled. And Regals take the ball away now. They spray it out to their right wing. Cavalry players flock backwards, and they seem to have it covered now. And that counter-attack slows down as the Regals are now just playing it down their right wing, and is almost intercepted by our left winger, number 25, Gregorio Romero, who was a trialist with the Cavalry back in May, just a week before the season started, and he impressed so much that he's been invited back for what is now his 2nd or 3rd game with the side. So looking forward to seeing him down this left wing for the Cavalry.
Sometimes in a game like this, you might worry about the intensity, but with a few of the new players, I mean, you got to think those guys are going to play as hard as they can just to impress. But and also the fact that they're sitting there warming up, wondering whether or not they're going to play a game as well. I mean, that sometimes can mentally work on you.
And Grayson DuPont there running towards his own goal, almost let the ball go out, but he manages to find Marvin at centre-back. They're going to have to get rid of it here because the Regals are pressing in this far right corner. Marvin sprays it to the right wing, and he finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez, bad touch, gives the ball away to the Regals, and they will start again, the visitors, in black and white. But Rodriguez is chasing them hard down this right side. They lay it off. Paita, the cam, central attacking midfielder, presses hard. Here come the Regals down this left side. Their left winger lifts ahead. Rodriguez is chasing him, but can't get anywhere near. Good tackle by Rodriguez. And Marvin gathers the ball, and it goes out for a throw-in for...
Marvin's a good-sized center back, bigger than what we're kind of used to with the Cavalry. They really don't have a lot of size, and a little bit in the back line, but in the center backs. But Marvin's definitely got to be one of the biggest players in the whole roster that we've seen this whole summer.
Him and the other centre back, Luis Garza, who's 5'11", I think.
Well, Marvin's got to be 6'2" then,
yeah.
if he's 6'3", maybe.
Ooh, and the referee says play on there. Paita was elbowed in the face. Much like that Tunisia player was elbowed in the face by Kyle Walker in that England game a couple of days ago. That annoyed me. This challenge didn't annoy me as much, but it's not nice to see
that almost cost them 2 points, didn't it? Don't get you started on that.
It was a very tense half hour for me until Harry Kane scored that winner. Hopefully the Cavalry don't leave it as bad as England did.
Yeah. I don't think you'll get quite as nervous, even if they do, just because no offense to the Cavalry, but there's not quite as much on the line for this one.
No, of course not. Cavalry do have a free kick about 35 to 40 yards out, right in the middle of the field. Garza lays it off to Rodriguez on the right, who lays it back in field to Angel Paeta on the edge of the box. Here's Velasquez, looks to shape up the shot, but he gets tackled, and Cavalry have to start again down this left side. Romero, jinks, left, right, comes back in. Gives it to his left back. Now the centre-backs have it, just inside the Regals' half. Garza sprays it across to the right wing. Great pass on a sixpence to DuPont, who plays it back in field. Billy Jones from New Zealand, originally from Manchester, England, to New Zealand. Velasquez on the edge of the box, poor touch, and he gives it away to the Regals, who now are breaking down this left side. Long ball to their left winger, and he heads it in field. Speed. And Marvin's going to have to chase him. He approaches into the left box, shoots, and it just hits the post and goes out for a goal kick.
I think it actually hit the tire that
the wheel, yes.
Yeah, the wheel that they used to pull the goals out, to move the goals out. That's why it bounded back into the field of play. It was good eyes by the official to see that. Gonna hand it to the Regals. They've already impressed more than, like I said before, those other two friendly teams that
for sure.
Cavalry played, which was who was that? The Oilers. They were the Oilers and the Knights from Killeen.
The Oilers team did actually play this Regal side, a reserve side, may I say, before I say the scoreline. But back in January, on the 13th of January, the Oilers beat this Regal side 3-1. Obviously, we beat the Oilers 11-0.
Yeah.
So that would suggest it's going to be quite an easy day for the Cavalry. However, from what we've seen here in the opening 7 minutes at Travis Field, it would suggest nowhere near as easy as we see DuPont give it back.
Well, if that was back in January, we know how the teams, the personnel of the teams is can change quite a bit over the last 6 weeks here. So imagine what it'd be like since January.
In Velasquez come deeper to pick up the ball. Good turn. And he finds Romero down this left side. Bit of a heavy pass, but Romero will keep it in. No, he doesn't. Oh, he does. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. Goes out for a goal kick. He just about managed to keep. Good work from Velasquez. Picked it up on the D of the box with his back to goal. Managed to turn, but just that pass to his left winger on the overlap was a tad too heavy, Rich.
Yep. Good effort to try and get it, but yeah, which tells you that it was heavy because he put quite an effort into trying to save it from going over the byline.
And there's a corner for the Cavalry. That man Velasquez, he's playing as a centre forward, but he really is roaming all over the place. And he's really come into form, Velasquez, the last couple of games. He's had a tough start to the season. He was left out of a couple of games because he wasn't performing, but he's really beginning to come into his own and show the form that he portrayed in the 2017 season for Texas United.
Well, and he's also playing a position where they had what they thought, and guys that had performed quite well with Gould and Anderson. So he's correct. If you're only gonna, you can only have one number 9, so to speak.
Sure. And another corner goes to waste for the Cavalry. That really has been the story of 2018 for them so far. But they still have the ball here on the left side of this box. Garza whips it in and tried to find Marvin, who's come all the way forward, and that header was a solid 10 yards to the left of goal.
That almost looked like he looked like he was playing center back for the Regals instead of for the Cavalry, the way he headed that.
It was a good header out of danger for them. 9 minutes played here at Travis Field. It's Cavalry 0, Regals 0. You're listening to the Zone 102.7 FM, and Regals make a mistake, and they almost paid for it. Their centre-back scuffed it, and Rodriguez was all over that. But luckily, their other centre-back picked up the scraps. And here they come down this left side. Does DuPont have the pace or the strength? He has neither, and he falls to the ground. And the ref says play on. Poor pass from the Regals left winger. His centre-forward would have been wide open there.
Yeah, he did so much to get into the position to make that pass, and then he didn't connect with the center forward. He's got a little bit of speed, number 15, and one of the guys I've really liked here in the last couple of games at home for the Cavalry is DuPont on the right side on the back line, and
he's had a very good game.
Yeah, and 15 just he's got to give it to 15. He just beat him on that last play.
And we saw there the Regals, another lofted ball. They like to do that. That's a Liverpool style of play. Lofted ball over the back line. It almost worked. Abrams had to come out of his box. He was about 3 yards out and realized he couldn't use his hands, and he could only kick it out for a throw-in, which the Regals have not capitalized on. And here come the Cavalry down this left side. Heavy touch from Romero, but he was going, and then a good slide tackle there by the Regals player.
Pretty sure you were expecting a goal by now, were you not, Zach? From your pregame discussion?
10 minutes in, I would like to have seen a goal, but still 80 minutes to play. As Rodriguez comes off his right wing. He's about 30 yards out.
We're spoiled in these friendlies, and we shouldn't be after watching. If you've watched enough World Cup, you get about a goal every 30 minutes and not every 10 minutes. If that, even.
So far, every game in the World Cup's been a 1-0 almost, as Garza comes forward out of centre-back and gives it away. And here come the Regals again. That number 15 down the left side will get a name for you listeners as soon as we find out.
I think it's kind of interesting. I don't think the Cavalry's pressing. I mean, if as much as they could, and maybe would like to. Maybe they're trying to figure out who it's best to press. Get a feel for where the talent is on the Regals team. That was a nice little flick by the midfielder to the right winger.
And here they have a long shot, and it dips and almost goes in. That came out of nowhere. The Regals had the ball on the right side of this field, about 30-35 yards out, and their midfielder is a stocky fella, and he decided to take a long shot, and it looped. Abrams was off his line. I don't know if it was on purpose, but he saw Abrams off his line, and Abrams was backtracking. He was in trouble.
I would say that was from 35 yards out, and if it would have been about another yard lower and just inside, it would have caught the post and maybe bounced in. And although and I honestly think that if the Cavalry wouldn't have, if Abrams wouldn't have acted like he got it, and I don't know if we would have had a corner there. I don't think the official would have seen that as a corner. I think Abrams just essentially sold the call. He essentially sold the call for the other team, for the Regals. Maybe he wanted credit for a save.
First corner for the Regals. It's whipped in. Abrams jumps up and gathers that safely in his 6-yard box, and he throws it out quickly to his left wing, which he finds Rodriguez, who gets tackled, and it goes out for a throw-in. Cavalry throw just inside their own half. It's taken quickly. Rodriguez does it down to Romero. Back to Rodriguez. A good 1-2 there. He sprays it right to his centre-back, Garza. DuPont is on acres and acres of space, and he find him. And he cuts in of his field. He's one-on-one with the left back. Step over, cuts in field. He still has the ball. Can he find a player? He finds Rodriguez on the D of the box. Takes a long shot, and
really not much to that. Yeah, he scuffed out a little bit. Yeah, he's actually getting. There could have maybe been a foul there. He was getting tugged on the shoulder as he took that shot. That's the one thing I want to see DuPont do in this game is get forward a little bit more, because I said he's played really well, but when I say he's played really well in the last couple of games, it's what's impressed me is his defensive, what he's done defensively.
Definitely, and he started as the second choice right back a month ago. Simon Holden had his place, and he came in for a second or third game, and almost kind of just to give Holden a break, and he impressed so much that he's kept that spot from Holden ever since, and rightly so. He's my unsung hero of the team. He doesn't get anywhere near as much praise as he deserves. He's brilliant both attacking and defensive-wise. Obviously, he's there as a defensive player, but the style the Cavalry play, he really suits it.
Yeah. I have in the Corpus game that the Cavalry won 4-2, I talked to Coach Clarkson about him, because I felt like there were 2 or 3 times where, even though he's probably maybe, what would you guess, 5'8", 5'9" at the most, and
5'7", there we
go. Yeah, 5'7",
he's only 150 pounds.
Yeah, and he 2 or 3 times in that Corpus game floated off of the guy that he was covering and got in front of the guy that the cross was meant to and headed it out of danger. And I was pretty impressed with that. That's what got my attention to start off with watching him.
14 minutes gone here at Travis Field in Bryan College Station. It's 0-0 between the Cavalry and the Regals. You're listening to The Zone 102.7 FM and Sports Radio 1150. I'm Zach Carr. The other voice you're hearing is Rich Kroom, and we are giving you live and exclusive coverage of this friendly fixture between a PDL and an NPSL team. So far, reasonably even game.
The PDL and NPSL, would you put that like Premier League to the Championship League, the second division?
I'd say maybe League 1 or League 2 if we're talking about in terms of English leagues, yes.
As far as quality and of skill.
I mean, speaking of quality, that was a great ball there from the Regals. Lofted from right to left, diagonal, 40-yard ball over the defense again. DuPont couldn't deal with it. Can he deal with this attack now? He can't, and it goes out for Cavalry throw-in.
I think he sold that one with his arm raised. We got to find out, even if we don't find out all the names, we got to find out 15's name, because he's played some havoc with against the Cavalry down this left side with his speed, and then they've got a couple of midfielders that can obviously put the ball where they want it.
And here comes Angel Payata running through the center circle. He had 4 players on him and he lost the ball. However, Cavalry pick it up, and they're now playing it down this left side. Diaz, he's had a very quiet game that's left side. Gives it to Jones. Great run from Romero down this left side, who cuts into the box. He crosses it in, but it was actually more of a shot, and it blazed over the bar with some real ferocity.
Yeah, I was going to say he had a lot of pace on that, and he was probably only maybe 4 yards inside the sideline when he hit that, and might have caught the goalkeeper a little unaware.
And here come Regals playing out from the back, and they're being pressed more now. You spoke about the pressing. I think they're doing a bit more now, the Cavalry.
Yeah, I think maybe as the game grows and they figure out who they want to press, and maybe they'll look at the team wearing down. It's pretty, because of the rain today. We had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain the last 3 or 4 days, and now it's not. It's really humid and a little suffocating.
Marvin, good back heel. And that number 15 almost won again for his team. He's won the throw-in. Marvin's protests, but obviously there's not much you can do without VAR, that's for sure.
I don't think VAR looks at too many throw-ins.
VAR doesn't look at anywhere near as much as it should have.
I don't know. I like the flow of the game to stay with us.
Oh, for sure. If England wouldn't have won that game, I'd be complaining a lot more about VAR. But they did, and let's hope the other team in red, your Cavalry, can win tonight. 28 minutes left to play in this first half. Still no goals on the board. And here come the Regals down this right side. Lofted ball. Diaz is going to have to chase back. Diaz, he's only 5'3", mistake me if I'm wrong, Rich, but he's got his work cut out because his opposite number is significantly tall. He's got a good half foot on him.
Yeah, but that's, that's fine out on the wing like that. I mean, they're usually the ones crossing it, not heading it, so I like a little quickness. You'll see, you don't see too many right back, left backs that are real tall.
No, he's 5'8". I do beg your pardon. 5'3" was extremely.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah.
He doesn't look 5'8" from here, though.
You probably took away a few possible girlfriends there by telling him he was only 5'3".
Ladies, if you're listening, he's a
5'8".
very good man.
Yeah.
5'8" with an extremely good personality. He's got a nice car too, I heard.
Yeah, he's got a nice car.
Yeah.
That'll always do it.
The drums, I do beg my pardon, the drums are beating hard here to our left, as they always do. Great support from the Cavalry.
Those people down on that to the left of us of
season ticket holders, they're here every week.
Yeah, and they do a good job. Last year we had a group like that from the university, 5 or 6 guys, and I haven't seen them this year. Missed them.
Well, these guys are making up for it as the Cavalry come down this left side. Good tackle by the right back for the Regals, and it stops that attack, which looked dangerous up until that time. And they spray it wide. That number 15, ball's far too heavy, and DuPont will look like he was going to let it go out of play for a third, but he doesn't. He tries to take on 15 one-on-one, tried to nutmeg him, and 15 was having absolutely none of it and won that ball back from him. And here come the Regals just inside their own half. Now they enter the Cavalry half. They're in the center circle, passing it around. Quick one-touch pass it. 3-4 yards away from each other.
I notice the Regals, they're doing a good job of, one, keeping enough people. Well, I shouldn't say that because they just made a terrible pass there.
Here comes Velasquez. He's running. He's got options to his left and right. Is he going to do it on his own? He goes past one. He takes the shot, and it's straight at the keeper. Velasquez really capitalized on number 22's foul just inside the center circle. He's 40 yards out. He was running, and he had options to his left and right, but he decided to take on all 3 center backs. And he got the shot past them, but not past the keeper, and another chance goes begging there. One of his last games for the Cavalry, as he has to go back to Tulsa.
Velasquez going his final game?
I don't know if it's final game, but definitely one of his final games, yes. He has to go back to Tulsa University in the fall.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Gould's last game? Hasn't he played his last game? Another?
Actually been, we've got an extension on Brandon Gould now. I don't know why, but I'm glad to hear that because he's finally hit some form. Let's hope the Cavalry can hit some form here. They've got the ball, but they're not doing much with it. They're trying to get into that final third. Kiter looks to shape a shot outside of the D of the box, and that's blocked, and it comes out to DuPont on this right wing.
The only real opportunity for even half opportunity was what you just called on with Velasquez's
shot.
Yeah, and that came from a big mistake from the Regals defense.
It's the problem Cavalry had in the early stages of the season, Rich, where they get to the final third, but it's that final pass, that final shot lacks a bit of quality. However, if I'm speaking with hindsight of the past friendlies, in the second half, the opposing team get really tired, and that's when the Cavalry can pounce, if they haven't already scored a hatful by half-time, which they normally do in these friendlies.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the last friendly we had 5 in the first half, and because actually Killeen came on strong, because that was the team that never gives up, right? The Killeen team was Knights don't quit, and they didn't. They played a decent second half that night. Actually drew with the Cavalry in the second half, 2-2.
Here come the Cavalry. Romero down this left side. He cuts in. But he was going to have to take a shot with his weak right foot, and he didn't want to, and he stopped in his tracks. But Velasquez picks up the scraps from the D of the box. He's shapes the shot, and
that was locked. The keeper had no chance on that one. He just was watching and hoping it went wide to the post.
Velasquez was one-on-one with the center back, and he shifted it onto his right foot, and just out of nowhere, the ball was from under him, and he really dug the ball out, took a shot with real power, and it shot past the outside of the right post, and probably the best effort of the game so far.
Oh, most definitely the best effort. He's had the 2 best efforts now, and both in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
21 minutes on the clock here at Travis Field. Still 0-0. And what the Cavalry lack for in attendance today, because it's just a friendly fixture, they more than make up for in spirit and passion, because these drums have not stopped now for the last 10 or so minutes. And
we've had a few more people pick up, roll in since the start of the game, so there's a few more people here.
And number 15 cuts off his wing for the Regals and almost got that through ball, but DuPont clears it to Abrams, who really has to clear it quickly and just about did. Finds Diaz down this left side.
Yeah, I think Diaz got away with a handball there too, because it looked like he trapped it with his arm.
He did it. It was just about waist height for him.
Yeah.
He stuck out his left arm, let it bounce off his wrist.
If he was 5'3", it would have been shoulder high. But he's 5'8".
He's 5'8", with a great personality and a very good cards too. Fast one too.
Well, that's a very nice play right there.
Speaking of fast, here comes Velasquez down this right side. He needs some help here. Rodriguez offers help. He finds Rodriguez on the right side of this box. He comes into the box, takes on the right back. Goes down to the byline. He slips, but he still has the ball. He needs help. He finds it in Garza, who takes the long shot. Garza takes a shot, and it just goes wide of the left post. He hit it with the outside of his foot, and it was curling away from the post. Another good effort there, and the Cavalry get closer and closer.
Is that was that Garza or that's Cardenas? Was it not? That hit that? Cardenas is the one with the longer hair.
I do beg for my pardon, Rich.
Yeah, because he's the midfielder. Yeah, I was when you said that, I looked to see if Garza had moved up from his center back spot, and no, but I think that is Cardenas.
It's Cardenas, the captain. Cardenas, actually, funny you mention him, Rich, whilst we've got a second. He's actually played for Sporting Kansas City in the MLS.
Wow,
he's 26. He'll be turning 27 in. I do beg my pardon. He's already turned 27. Born in '91. He's 27. He's played for Sporting Kansas City. Played his college soccer at Campbell University, and he currently plays for the UNAM Pumas in the Mexican League, the Primera Division. So he's got some real experience. He's a real skillful player. But here come the Regals. And
don't mind me asking then, how did the Cavalry pick him up? Do you know that story?
I don't know the story of how they picked him up. I know we picked him up in last April, so this is actually his second season with the team. But he's been really busy, obviously, playing for a professional team, because no disrespect to the Cavalry, if you're playing in the Mexican First League,
right, or
so
or KC Sporting, yeah, you're gonna choose that one, yeah.
As much as we love it here at Travis Field.
Yeah, even if you're going to be a substitute there, you're gonna go there and wait your opportunity.
For sure. Is that a good game, as Cardenas?
I like him because we don't even have to see his number. We can just pick him out from the long hair.
And Rodriguez had a case for a free kick to be given there, because he's really shoved in the back. Winded actually in the side, but the referee says play on. And the Regals pick up the ball on this right side, goes out for a throw-in.
Regals have played well, but I think this is one of those games where the Cavalry needs to just kind of like pick it up one more notch, one more step one more step quicker to everything, and
they're in second gear at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
If they get anywhere near their top gear, then they will blow this side away, but they're just taking it easy so far. 20 minutes left to play.
I don't know if they'll blow them away, because the Regals have shown some skill and some speed. But yeah, I believe, especially 11 on 11, there's a nice little.
Good back heel from Velasquez, and Rodriguez almost runs onto it, but the Regals pick it up. Oh, Velasquez.
Oh, and they didn't call anything.
Play on. Velasquez, he's got a bit of an attitude like that.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of size, and he's obviously got a pretty sharp right shoulder.
Oh, and another one flies in from Marvin. No free kick given from the referee. This game is beginning to get. Just in the last
well,
few
maybe that's what,
like
we were talking about. They just need to pick it up one more gear. The Cavalry, maybe going after him a little bit more will do that. And if Marvin hits you, I think you would go flying.
Here come the Regals down this right side. Centre back lays it off to the right back. Finds his right midfielder, who just enters the Cavalry half. Lays it back to a centre back, who's now come forward. And they're moving it left, are the Regals. Good pass infield. And Diaz just intercepts the pass, the through ball, which was going to go to the right winger. And free kick is given. And it's taken quickly. Here come the Regals. They enter the box, takes a shot. And Abrams punches it clear. And DuPont picks up the scraps. And Cavalry will get rid of that. Best chance of the game for the Regals, Rich.
Yeah, a nice save. I mean, one he should make, obviously. But he
He's had his problems, has
he
Abrams.
knocked it clear of for any rebound. Although part of that was because they only had one other guy in the box, but safely done. I said this at the very beginning of this year, I believe, to you, Zach, that the one thing I do notice about this league over what most soccer fans are used to watching with like Premier League and all that sort of stuff is the size of the keepers. You don't see those 6'3", 6'4" keepers, and even the Cavalry doesn't have keepers like that.
Here come the Regals. The shot is blocked. A long ball from the keeper down this left side. Number 8 picked it up on the right edge of the box, cut in, took a shot, and it was immediately blocked.
Because I'm gonna guess Abrams is probably 6 foot.
Noah Abrams is 6'1".
That's at the very most.
And here comes Romero down the left side, takes a shot, hits the post, and it comes straight back to him. What's he going to do here? He cuts onto his left foot, brings it back, lovely Cruyff turn, whips it. There's the Pont in the box, heads it to Velasquez. Velasquez knocks it up in the air, just outside the 6-yard box, and it goes out for a corner. Exciting stuff there. That really did come out of nowhere. The Cavalry intercepted it in their own half, and just a couple of passes, and it was already into the Regals box, and Romero, first time running onto it, absolutely lashes, put his laces straight through it, smashed into the post, came straight back to him, and silky bit of skill to manage to get it back into the 6-yard box, but Cavalry don't score. The Regals go unscathed, but here comes the Cavalry corner. It's whipped in. Will it find a Cavalry head? It doesn't. It goes up in the air to the edge of the box, and
oh, we didn't hear a whistle. The guy just caught it, and it was like.
And they take it quickly, and the referee calls everyone back. And breathe.
Yeah, that was interesting because we did not hear any sort of whistle or anything, and didn't see anything even. And the next thing you know, the Regals defenseman is just grabbing the ball like a call had been made, and we have a Regals player down in the Cavalry penalty box.
Played 29 minutes here, still 0-0. You're listening to The Zone, 102.7 FM and Sports Radio 1150 for this friendly fixture between the Cavalry, your Brazos Valley Cavalry, and the visiting side from Houston, the Regals SCA Soccer Club Association. I'm Zach Carr, joined alongside me is Rich Kroom. And if you were to just summarize the opening half hour, Rich, what would you say?
Well, to summarize it, I would think that mostly it's a game that the Cavalry can command. Just how much do they want to put into it? And then right now, it's I don't want to say that they're not wanting to put a lot into it, and maybe they're instructed not to press, maybe not as high and force some mistakes, because we have seen a couple of mistakes from the Regals, and in fact that's actually what started the Cavalry's first real go at goal, where they've had three chances here in the last probably 6-7 minutes, and the first one was from a bad pass. When they were being pressed, I would just like to see the Cavalry press a little bit more. Maybe, like I said, maybe they're going to wait because of the heat. But when you got 5 or 6 subs, I think you should go all out the entire time. And you got the substitutions for a reason.
I mean, most of these players probably won't be playing in the next conference game. We do have a big game away to Corpus Christi on Sunday. And a handful of these players will probably be in the, if not the starting 11, the matchday squad. So they'll be looking to impress, but also not tire themselves out.
Yeah.
Depends on what Daniel Roberts wants. Will he play them for just an hour, or will he give them the whole game to see what they can do?
Well, I'm sure he's got instructions from somebody on that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm sure Clarkson's at home. And quick free kick from the Regals, lofted it up. And they've still got the ball, and the shot goes flying over the bar. The Regals had a free kick on the halfway line, lofted. Their number 8, a big boy, their centre forward. He was one-on-one with Garza, and Garza failed to deal with the trouble and gave his opposite number the space for the shot. And Abrams was going to have to pull off a miraculous save if it was on target. However, it flew over the bar.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there, I believe, because when the play was completely over, Garza looked at Marvin as like he's the only guy here. We should both be, squeezing in on him, and especially when he's dead in the center of the probably his first touch was in the sphere on top of the penalty box.
The other box. Good bit of skill there from Paita to find Rodriguez, who found Romero. They've been linking up well. Here they come again. Velasquez comes deep in field to pick up the ball. Billy Jones picks up the scraps and lays it out wide to that man, Romero. on the left wing. Overlapping is his left back Diaz, but he opts to go infield. Back to Rodriguez. Here comes Cardenas with the long shot, and it flies over the bar.
I'm not sure, but I think we just had a substitution right during the middle of the play. It's kind of funny. Number 23 rolled in and just took over. He's taking over at right wing there.
Goal kick from the Regals doesn't go to a black and white shirt, and the Cavalry pick it up with Jones in the center circle. Runs out. He's running as defenders. Plays a good 1-2 with Python. No, he doesn't. It's intercepted, and the Regals pick up the ball. And it goes out to that left side. Here's that number 15. Is he going to have a bit of skill? Python's chasing him, but he has the pace to get away from him. Lays it off to 8, the big centre forward who's coming to this left wing. He's one-on-one with the punt. Lays it in field back to 8. No, poor pass. Cardenas picks up the scraps to Python. To Marvin. Ooh, back pass overshot, but Cavalry will deal with it. And another fruitless attack from the away side.
Well, what I was going to say earlier was they're keeping guys behind the ball and then throwing it long, and if it looks like a good pass where there's something that they can make out of it, then they're going to shoot it. Then they've come running up down the middle of the field. But if it doesn't look like anything right away, they stay back.
He's taken down, and surely a free kick. The referee says so, just on the edge of the box. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're right. With that interception and this would be a great opportunity for the Cavalry to get on the scoreboard.
The Cavalry as well, because it was laid off to Velasquez, and for probably the 6th or 7th time in the game, a really cheeky little back heel, just one touch, lays it into the path of Rodriguez, who was running onto it, and Rodriguez was one-on-one with the centre back, and I mean just outside the box, taken down. I'm surprised the yellow or even the red doesn't mean it, though, because that was a crunching tackle and definitely caught all man and no ball whatsoever. And Rodriguez is still hands on his knees.
Yeah, you usually see that when a foul's in that position. You usually see a yellow card.
Least, yeah.
It's literally right on the
edge of the box.
It's at the top of the sphere there.
It's about a yard out, yep. And it looks like the captain, Mitchell Cardenas, is going to be taking it just to the left of the center of goal on the very edge of the box. Cardenas, the tall figure, he's over 6 foot, stands, hands on hips, runs up, takes it, fires it over the bar.
Had a lot of pace, but the dip didn't start. The dip didn't start until it got to the right field fence, not the goal, goalpost.
It was still on the rise when it went over the bar. Good idea, but close but no cigar for Cardenas and the Cavalry.
That's one of those things where a lot of those players like that free kick from about 27, 28 yards rather than 18, 19 yards or 19 and 20 yards.
Very few people have the skill to get it up and down
in that 20-yard span. There's one guy that's been doing it here recently over in Russia. Who, by the way, I was going to say that. I was going to say, we need to talk to the Cavalry about this.
And that pass goes astray.
They have a guy on the bench, Ronaldo. I mean, you'd think that a guy named Ronaldo would be in the starting lineup, wouldn't you?
Well, he's played a game for the Cavalry before. He was a trialist last month in May. Previously has gone by the name of Ronaldo Gonzalez. However, today he's Ronaldo Rodriguez. Is the same person from the Houston Dynamo Academy, originally from Mexico. But we'll just call him Ronaldo, because at least that's the one name he's kept in all the games so far.
That's the best name to keep.
Oh, for sure. Let's hope we see him in the second half. But here come the Cavalry on the edge of the box. Another pass goes astray. Rodriguez just can't reach it. Poor pass from Romero down this left side. And here come the Regals on their own left side, number 15. He needs some help. Regals really don't get forward when they have the ball. They kind of just trust 3 or 4 players to go. But here they come.
That first pass has to be really good for them to keep going, which is a good thing. I mean, if you're not the team that's going to, not predicted to win this thing, which they're not with the leagues that the 2 teams are in, sometimes you have to play behind the ball a little bit more. Keep your shape.
There's a poor pass there from the Regals. They went out for a goal kick, and here come the Cavalry now. Rodriguez, who really isn't playing on his right wing. If anything, it looks like he's the centre forward. But here come the Regals. They've broken away. Oh, good shoulder. Takes on the shot. Abrams saves it. And out of nowhere, the Regals had the ball. Their number 8, their centre forward, was just clear, open. And he had the head start on Garza. And Garza was trying to get anywhere near him. And a big shoulder. their number 8 went out of his way to kind of stop running with the ball and just shoulder barge him. But here come the Cavalry now on the other end of the field. Romero takes it around the keeper, and the touch is too heavy, and it goes out. End-to-end stuff here.
Yeah, very
Field
good.
Out of nowhere. The Regals very nearly scored. Good save from Abrams. It was kind of at him, but he still had to make the save. And out of nowhere, within 3 touches, Romero has the ball.
Regals number 8. I mean, that was very well done. How he made some space for himself to take that shot. Kind of a little Charlie Austin, Southampton kind of thing.
Almost, yeah. He's got the beard just like him.
Yeah, that's what made me think about him. It looks a little bit like him.
And I'm surprised the referee didn't give a free kick, because that was a blatant, I'm going to stop looking at the ball and I'm going to look at you and shove you out the way. But
Yeah. Well, he's let a few of those shoulder-on-shoulder things go, which, you know, in soccer, you're theoretically allowed to do that.
you are.
I think somebody ought to deal with this ball down here, though, that's in the field of play. We have a second ball in the field of play that nobody seems to have noted. I'm really impressed with 15 for the Regals. He's got some ball skills, and he's definitely got some speed.
He is a very good player. I'd love to find out his name.
Well, that'll be our chore at halftime.
Yes.
We're gonna go try to find some names.
Only 7 minutes to go now at half-time. We are locked at a stalemate so far. Both teams have had good chances. Both of them coming in the last 10 minutes. The game's really come to life. It's got very physical. A few real brutal shoulder charges coming from both teams, mainly Miguel Velasquez of the Cavalry and big number 8, Charlie Austin, doppelganger for the
Doppelganger, yeah, there you go. I like that. I've got a friend that always says Charlie Austin, all he does is score goals. Because he was a QPR, because my friend's a QPR fan.
Okay, that makes
so
sense.
that's why he said that about Charlie
was
Austin.
that handball? No, it wasn't a
No,
handball.
it was off
Whoever
his
play
shoulder.
on. Is a shoulder not handball in America? Because
The
well,
top of the shoulder, like the top of the shoulder.
Okay.
In America.
I mean, I don't know.
Does that mean the rules will change when the World Cup comes here in 8 years?
Maybe if America.
But in 8 years, I'm sure some rules will change too. By the way.
For sure, maybe.
A lot more video stuff, I'm sure.
We could have done with it here in the first half with a few of the challenges the Regals player have been putting in. I still can't get over that shoulder barge, Rich, that their striker put in, because it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've always on the opinion if you're shoulder to shoulder already, then you can put a barge in. But they were a solid 2 feet apart, and he just stepped into him.
Yeah.
And here comes the long ball again to that man number 8, and he's brushed it past Marvin.
Oh,
and he
he's
climbs
very
all over
physical. He
DuPont.
just leveled DuPont.
Free kick for the Cavalry. He swept away Marvin, who's got a good 3 or 4 inches on him, and DuPont, who's much shorter than him.
And much lighter.
And he went straight underneath him.
Give it to DuPont. He just got straight up and took the free kick and acted like nothing had happened to him. And when he really got bowled over there.
It's good to see. I don't like to see when soccer players
Yeah,
make a fuss.
we saw a little bit of that today in an Argentina game, did we not?
We did. Team in stripes lost 3-0. Let's see if the team in stripes can do anything here as they come down the right-hand side. They did have a counter breaking, but they took their time, and now Cavalry have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players behind the ball, and they intercept it. And now they're on the break. Paita on the ball. He enters the Regals half, lays it off to Velasquez. Poor pass though. Velasquez still has the ball, lays it off to a Regals player, and another chance goes missing for the home side.
Haven't really seen much from Paita today, which is kind of disappointing after he cracked in that tying goal at the last home game here against OKC. That was a great goal to give the Cavalry the 3-3 result, which was a great result really for the Cavalry considering they were down 3-1 at one time. The substitutes are warming up, so maybe we'll see a few. We've got probably 4 minutes and some stoppage time left in the first half, and it will be interesting to see if he brings them in right away, because you'd like to see this starting 11 at least go out with the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, give them a little bit of confidence in what they've done. And
headed by Garza this time, didn't let the number 8 get on it.
Oh, there's
lovely
the through
ball.
ball.
Rodriguez to Paita. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Takes it around his left. Can he finish it off? He
does.
does, and that's a goal to the Cavalry. Lovely stuff by the home side there, and they take a 1-0 lead Perfect timing, less than 4 minutes to play until halftime. 1-0 Cavalry.
Beautiful through ball. Did you say that was Rodriguez with the through ball? Because that was as pretty a pass as we've seen tonight.
It really was.
And then Paeta made me eat my words because I said we hadn't said much about him, and then he goes and scores within 30 seconds.
I think his ears were burning.
Yeah.
He still had a lot to do. When
he did. He had to get around the keeper, and he had to do it fast enough because their two defenders were coming back and getting into the goal area, and so if he couldn't just take his time with doing it. Once he got past that goalkeeper, he had to slot it in quickly and with a little bit of pace. Otherwise, the defenders would have been, on the goal line, maybe being able to kick it away.
Lovely finish there. He took it away from the keeper, and I thought he'd maybe made the angle too hard for himself, especially with two centre-backs running back, but finished it off and gave his team the lead. Absolutely exemplary timing just before halftime. That's really when you want to score, knock the stuffing out of the other team. Completely changes the team talks of both managers, especially for David Perez of the Regals. He's going to have to do some thinking now because his team looks quite content at 0-0, but now they're 1 goal to the good down. And
yeah, we'll see how many, if they do send a few more people forward. Obviously, they, like I said before, they like to send them forward once they see that first ball is connected, but first long ball's connected. We'll see if they send a few more forward or a little bit more quicker.
Romero and it's firing. Oh, lovely stuff there. Overlaps it to Diaz. Diaz back to Romero.
He turned the ankles on that defender on that right at the corner of the box.
That was. I'm gonna say that was filthy. That was absolutely filthy.
As in basketball, they said he broke his ankles.
He did make his ankles. To sum it up for you listeners, we were on the left corner of the penalty box, and Romero had the ball, and he kind of just wiggled his body. I don't know what he did, to be honest with you, but he sent his centre-back right on his backside and made him look a very silly man. Lovely bit of skill there to shimmy past him. And Velasquez gets brought down about 10 yards inside the Regals box. And it's a free kick taken quickly. Dupont to Velasquez. Everyone's kind of labouring here. I think they're waiting for the half-time whistle. Everyone's really just walking back into position. Paeta finds himself with the ball. Is he going to go for the long shot? He does. Oh, wow. That's 3 points in football.
Yeah, that was that was left and high of the scoreboard. That's over the goal there. I think. The less said about that shot, the better.
Blame it on the wind.
Blame it on the wind. The wind's knocking it down. Otherwise, it would have been higher.
I think that ball has gone for a very, very long time. Straight out of the premises. And here come the Regals down this right-hand side. It's all a bit scrappy here. There's a few heads, a few knees on the ball. 23 has it just inside the Cavalry half. Goes back into his own half. Goes back and he's intercepted by Romero. Here come the Cavalry. Can they find a second before half time? Lays it off to Condenas on the edge of the box. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper and he takes it past him. And in it goes.
Yeah,
2-0 Cavalry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that, listeners. There's a bit of a pause because no one reacted. What a damp squib. I don't know if you have that saying. Very damp squib because brilliant goal and absolutely no one reacted.
Yeah, it was almost like the score was 8-0 and it's ho-hum, we've scored another one. But I mean, it's only 2-0, and but that wasn't not unlike the last goal, really, to some extent. And Cardenas got down the left side of the field and just beat the keeper.
Rushed him. The keeper thought he could cut out the angle, but slid it past the keeper into the bottom right corner from the left side of the box. And 2-0 Cavalry with just seconds to go until half-time.
Oh, just seconds, because there's the whistle.
That's half-time here at Travis Field in Bryan College Station. It is your Brazos Valley Cavalry FC 2, Houston Regals SCA 0. Reasonably entertaining half, some real good football, especially in the latter stages of the half. Cavalry coming out on top with 2 very late goals. Rich and I will be talking about this soon. You're listening to The Zone 102.7 and Sports Radio 1150. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Normandy Tractor and Implement Company, winner of the Kubota Elite Certified Dealer Award, invested in Brazos Valley for 17 straight years. Home of the Kubota tractors, ATVs, RTVs, zero-turn lawnmowers, and implements for the farm and ranch. Celebrate spring with great package deals. For a limited time, get the #1 selling compact tractor in Texas, the new Kubota L2501F, 24.8 horsepower, along with the 3-point quick hitch and a 5-foot box blade for only $10,599 cash price, or with financing less than $140 $114 per month. Upgrade to a 4-wheel drive and get monthly payments of only $129 per month. Remember, Vernon and the boys at Normandy Tractor are the best when it comes to customer service and building your own Kubota package deal. Get zero money down, 0% financing at Normandy Tractor on most Kubota tractors and lawn equipment. Normandy Tractor at Highway 39 at OSR in Normandy, online normandytractor.com. Remember, for the largest selection and best prices on all your Kubota tractor and utility vehicle needs, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
IT orchestration stories from CDWG. A government agency needed to prepare for the future, but its IT infrastructure was stuck in the past. So CDWG orchestrated a converged infrastructure solution featuring Dell EMC technology. It modernized their data center using the industry's most innovative infrastructure portfolio. Servers and storage by Dell. IT orchestration by CDWG. Learn more at cdwg.com/Dell. CDWG. People who get it.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Texas Army National Guard. Aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's rodeo time in the Brazos Valley. Lithia Dodge, Cavender's Boot City, Coors, and Producers Cooperative are proud to present the 47th Annual Bryan Breakfast Lions Club PRCA Rodeo at the Brazos County Expo Complex, 7:30 p.m. each night, July 19th, 20th, and 21st. Thursday night is a 40-head NPBR bull riding. Friday night and Saturday night, PRCA Rodeo. Professional rodeo at its best with some of the top PRCA cowboys and cowgirls, along with the Sammy Catalina Rodeo Company. All 3 nights enjoy
Adam,
rodeo clowns, specialty acts, bullfighting, the world-famous Catalina.
Okay, I can add 2 more minutes to this.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Advanced tickets may be purchased at Cavender's Boot City, Producers Cooperative, Catalina Hatters, Texas Rose Boutique, Lithia Dodge, and the Eagle. Be a part of the Old West while supporting the Bryan Breakfast Lions Club. That's July 19th, 20th, and 21st at 7:30 p.m. We'll see you at the rodeo. Click BryanRodeo.com.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Texas Army National Guard. Aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Bush Presidential Library and Museum is proud to host the College Station New Lions Club's I Love America 4th of July celebration on July 4th. The museum will be open with free admission from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Concessions begin at 5:30 p.m. with live music at 6 p.m. The Kids Zone, complete with games and bounce houses for children, will be open from 6 to 8:30 p.m. The evening will culminate with a performance by the Brazos Valley Symphony Orchestra and a fireworks show. For more information, visit bush41.org or call 691-4014.
AggielandHelpWanted.com presents the world's worst boss, the one who posts jobs on huge national job sites, looking for anyone with a pulse. We'll just call him Dave.
Team, I recently learned that a good boss has to know how to delegate. That means I get to have other people do the things I don't want to do. So from now on, Tina, you'll be driving me to work. Bill, here's my laundry. Jack, talk to my wife when she calls. Remember, you have to pretend you're interested or she gets really mad.
Don't work for a Dave. Find a boss you can respect. One who's looking for great and local talent at AggielandHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Give your truck authority. Texas Truck Riggins will help you hook up your rig the way you want it.
Whether you're in need of toolboxes, towing hitches, bed covers, grill guards, headache racks, winches, or any other item to customize your truck or SUV, Texas Truck Riggins has it, along with an experienced, knowledgeable staff that takes great pride in providing professional installation that's second to none.
Visit Texas Truck Riggins at the corner of South College and Edge Street. Find us on Facebook or click TX.
Hey, I'm coming back to you in 1 minute. You there?
Yeah.
Time for a little
Is
bit
that
of a workout and we're going to get some.
all right? 1 minute.
Okay, sorry,
New
mate.
construction or service, they have you covered. Tom and Shelby Line have been serving the Brazos Valley for 11 years, and their team of plumbers have more than 40 years of experience. Customer service is their highest priority. Trust your every plumbing need to Tom Line Plumbing and Irrigation. Click TomLYNEPlumbing.com today.
If you missed the Louis Bellina Show powered by Team of Navasota, you missed.
What will the final regular season record be for Ole Miss? Bowl or no bowl? That is the question.
Well, you know, they're still trying to find out bowl or no bowl because they are appealing the NCAA sanctions, a couple of them. And they'll find out later in the summer how that appeal goes one way or the other. But, would they be bowl eligible? 6 wins, 7 wins? I could see that for this team if things break right.
The Louis Bellina Show, powered by Team of Navasota. Weekdays 11 to 2 on The Zone.
All right, back at you.
Welcome back to The Zone 102.7. You're listening to The Zone 102.7 FM, our sports radio 1150, wherever you're listening to us on. Welcome to Travis Field. We're here in Bryan College Station, Texas. I'm Zach Carr, and I'm just going to be giving you a few minutes of analysis during halftime. Halftime of this game, this friendly fixture between your Brazos Valley Cavalry FC, the home side, and the away side of Houston Regals SCA Soccer Club Association. It's a friendly, like I said, not competitive game, so the Cavalry have, if you're just joining us, they've played quite not a full strength side, let's put it that way. A few players that you'd see in the regular season, but a lot of academy players, a lot of under-19s, just guys really to give them a good run out on what is quite a muggy evening here at Travis Field. We were expecting a blowout, we were expecting goals galore. We haven't seen that. It's only 2-0. I say only because such is the quality of the players the Cavalry possess. You would be expecting a hatful. In their last friendly, we were 5 up by half-time, and it's only 2. Both those 2 goals came in the last 4 minutes, courtesy of Romero and captain Mitchell Cardenas. 2 goals very similar. No, I do beg my pardon. Angel Pieta and Mitchell Cardenas. 2 very similar goals, both from the left-hand side, both breaking through the defence with a through ball that really cut up the opposition, and both really clean finishes past the goalkeeper who was coming out to cut off the angle, and they just laid it into the back of the net. Very good stuff there. Players that have impressed me, as always, Grayson DuPont at right back. He's been extremely impressive, both defensively and attacking. He's really had his work cut out. Number 15, the left winger for the Regals. He's a quick player, he's sharp, he's got a really good bit of skill as well. Speaking of skill, Gregorio Romero on this left-hand side for us. He's the left-hand side part of the front 3 of the 4-3-3 that we're playing tonight, as we have played all year. He's been fantastic. He's been cutting in onto his right foot, going down the byline, whipping in the cross. He had a really good bit of skill right towards the end of the halfway. He put his opposite number, the right back of the Regals, flat on his bum. Made him look very silly. That was really impressive, as has Mitchell Cardenas, our captain from Sporting Kansas City. He's played for the MLS side, currently plays for the Pumas in the Premier Division, the top tier of Mexican soccer. And all round a really good team performance. Not the best, obviously, because against a team such as the Regals, we could be a number of goals out, but that lack of quality has been a problem. However, I am expecting more goals and a much better scoreline by the end of the 90 compared to the end of the 45. We've got some really good substitutes that I'm looking forward to. Bernard Cossier from London. He's from the Chelsea under-18s. I see him warming up on the field now. All the players, all the substitutes, may I hasten to add, have all their training tops off. They're in full kit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see them come on very early, if not straight at the beginning of the half. I'm looking forward to him. Ronaldo looks to be ready to come on as well. He's impressed for the Cavalry before. And Gabriel Gersi from Venezuela, half Italian, half Venezuelan. I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. He's only just turned 18. He's 6'4", 191 pounds, so he'll be a physical presence in midfield as well. And of course, Mason Schuster, an original from the start of the season. Haven't seen him in a while. I'm looking forward to seeing him probably on the left wing. However, it is time to go for another ad break. When we come back, there'll be just a couple of minutes to go until the second half. Here at Travis Field in Bryan College Station. You're listening to the Zone 102.7 and Sports Radio 1150. This friendly game between your Cavalry and Houston Regals. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back in just a couple of ticks.
Make sure to visit zone1150.com and register to win your Texas Summer Survival Kit from World of Beer and the Louis Bellina Show. Take your family to the Schlitterbahn. Enjoy some Rudy's Barbecue. Win 4 tickets and a meal to the Brazos Valley Bombers. And 4 tickets, Cokes, and popcorn to the Queen Theater in downtown Bryan. You can register once a day, Monday through Thursday. We draw one lucky winner every Friday. For more information or to register, visit zone1150.com to win your Texas Summer Survival Kit. Texas Summer Survival Kit from World of Beer.
It's radio time.
Oh,
in the Brazos
way over
Valley.
there.
Lydia
Okay.
Dodge, Cavender's Boot City, Coors, and Producers Cooperative are proud to present
what's
the
his first name?
47th annual Bryan Breakfast Lions Club PRCA Rodeo at the Brazos County Expo Complex,
It is?
7:30
I didn't see
p.m.
him.
each night, July 19th,
Oh, okay.
20th,
Well,
and
okay.
21st. Thursday
Oh,
night
yeah.
is a
All right,
40-head
then I'm gonna take
NPBR
this
bull
with me.
riding. Friday night and Saturday night, PRCA Rodeo. Professional rodeo at its
Yeah.
best with some of the top PRCA cowboys and cowgirls, along with the Sammy Catalina Rodeo Company. All 3 nights, enjoy rodeo clowns, specialty acts, bullfighting, the world-famous Catalina Cowgirls, trick riding,
Big
and
guy.
the Southern Tour of the Mini Bareback Riding World Championship Series.
Is that the guy bending
there will
over-
be a petting zoo, pony rides, calf scramble, and mutton busting. Advanced tickets may be purchased at Cavender's Boot City, Producers Cooperative, Catalina Hatters, Texas Rose Boutique, Lydia Dodge, and the Eagle. Be a part of the Old West while supporting the Bryan Breakfast Lions Club. That's July 19th, 20th, and 21st at 7:30 p.m. We'll see you at the rodeo. Click BryanRodeo.com.
Normandy Tractor and Implement Company, winner of the Kubota Elite Certified Dealer Award, invested in the Brazos Valley for 17 straight years. Home of the Kubota tractors, ATVs, RTVs, zero-turn lawnmowers, and implements for the farm and ranch. Celebrate spring with great package deals. For a limited time, get the #1 selling compact tractor in Texas, the new Kubota L2501F, 24.8 horsepower, along with the 3-point quick hitch and a 5-foot box blade for only $10,599 cash price, or with financing less than $114 per month. Upgrade to a 4-wheel drive and get monthly payments of only
One minute.
No, that's fine.
No money down, 0% financing at Normandy Tractor on most Kubota tractors and lawn equipment. Normandy Tractor at Highway 39 at OSR in Normandy, online, normandytractor.com. Remember, for the largest selection and best prices on all your Kubota tractor and utility vehicle needs, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
It's time to vote for your favorite business in the Brazos Valley. This year is the 18th anniversary of the Best of the Brazos. Voting for the best in restaurants, shops, health, and everything that makes this the best place to live. Vote online at bestofthebrazos.com or pick up a ballot at Atkinson Toyota, Callaway Jones Funeral Home and Crematory, America's Country Store, and Sabi Boutique. It's the best that money can't buy. Voting ends July 5th, so cast your vote now for the best of
10 seconds.
This is Sports Radio 1150 on the Zone 102.7 FM, where no lead is safe.
Yeah.
Welcome back, listeners. It's great to have you here. We hope you enjoyed the first half. We've got the second half for you live from Travis Field here. You're listening to the Zone 102.7 FM and Sports Radio 1150. I'm Zach Carr. Joined by me tonight is Rich Kluman as always. It's wonderful to be sitting next to you, Rich. And we've got some substitutions ahead of the second half. It's 2-0 to the Cavalry after a slightly above average first half. Not the best they've ever played, but they made some subs now.
Picked up as the game went along.
It definitely did. Maybe half-time actually came too soon, just as they hit their stride. But we've got some substitutions, actually. It does look like, from where I'm sitting, we have brought in Mason Schuster on the right wing. He is on for Kevin Rodriguez. So that's Rodriguez off, Schuster on. Also on in the midfield, I'm very excited to see this, is Bernard Cossier, the man from London. He plays for the Chelsea under-18s. There we go. He's on the ball. The second half has just started now. And he is on for, it looks like,
Paeta, isn't it?
Paeta.
Yeah, our first goal scorer.
So that's Paeta off, Cossier on. And here come the Cavalry. They enter the half of the Regals, and that's just intercepted. And we've also got another sub down this left side. Also off is Gregorio Romero. On is, it looks like Ronaldo is on. I'm so sorry, listeners. We've got a bit of a mix-up with the numbers here. They were all changed right before the game. Oh, and there goes Billy Jones is down on the halfway line. The referee looks at him, says play on. And the Regals have the ball, and Billy Jones is still down on the halfway
he looks
line.
okay, though. I mean,
He's not happy with the
I think he's more, he's just more upset that nothing was called than than being hurt. I mean, he's walking a little gingerly, but I mean, at first you thought maybe it was something really serious the way he went flying. Sometimes if they go flying, it's better because then there's no nothing that's planted that can be bent or broke. I will give the Regals some credit. Their shape in the back, and we're going to get a little better look at that this half with them being down our end, is appears to be fairly well done.
And that touch just goes out of bounds for the Cavalry. Some good stuff. They were kind of passing about 30 yards out from the goal and finally decided to make our move down this left side. The new substitute, who I think is Ronaldo.
That is Ronaldo, yeah.
Wearing a completely different number to the one I laid out for him in the changing room just a couple of hours ago. But
you do that? You lay them out?
Kitman, commentator.
Oh my gosh.
Groundsman.
Groundsman. It's a turf field. Well, you don't have much work there, do you?
Well, before the game starts, there's a baseball mound on it, Rich. So
yeah.
some of us
you have to take the
it.
mound off? Oh, okay.
You name it, I'll do it.
Okay.
Also on for the Cavalry is Gabriel Gersi. He's in defense. He has replaced Marvin. So that's Marvin off, Gabriel Gersi on. I'm looking forward to seeing Gersi. I said it at halftime. He's a big boy, 6'4", 191 pounds. He's on, as is Bernard Cossier, Mason Schuster, and Ronaldo Rodriguez. Will be calling him Ronaldo. He's down this left side, and he just about misses that pass from Billy Jones. Goes out for
So our only sub that really hasn't come in is Steve, the Cameron under-20 player.
Steve from Cameroon under-20s. Looking forward to seeing him. He's a very stocky man. I don't know where he'll fit into this side, but I'm sure he'll fit in as Cardenas wins that 50-50 challenge, lays it off to Schuster, who just loses his footing, falls down. And here come the Regals down this left side, which is definitely their favorite side. Oh, through ball, and he's in there, the left back, he's overlapped. He whips in the cross into the 6-yard box, and it's cleared from Garza, from Gersi, I do beg my pardon. Gabriel Gersi, first touch of the game there, and it's a crucial one because the centre forward, number 8, the Charlie Austin lookalike, I could see from here his eyes light up because if he had that, he would have been
even though he was running away from us, you could see his eyes light up.
Striker's instinct, Rich.
Yeah.
We all have it. I used to be a striker, I can tell.
He almost, I might want to say that pass was a little bit early. I think he still had time to bring it in a little bit more.
He did. Here comes the corner, whipped in. And
maybe he felt Charlie Austin was open and he wanted to get the ball to him since his eyes had lit up so much. But
I don't blame him.
I felt he had a little bit more time to bring the ball a little closer.
Abrams didn't quite gather that corner completely cleanly. It looked like he was going to catch it in the air, but fumbled it a bit. Luckily, there wasn't a Regals player surrounding him for that. And here come the Cavalry, about 30 yards out now. They lose the ball in a 50-50 challenge, and the Regals down the left side is where they all play their football. All the way down. The referee is blowing the whistle. Everyone stopped apart from the left back for the Regals. He thought he was wide open there.
And I would say, again we're without names, but number 15 is the reason they would play down the left side. But I think he's been taken out.
He has been subbed off. Yes.
I would not have subbed him out.
David Perez, I would love to know what you're doing getting rid of one of your best players, but you're in the hot seat and we're not.
Yeah, you're down 2-0, and the one guy that looked really, him and Charlie Austin were the only two that looked real dangerous.
Here come the Regals breaking forward. Number 8, that man, slide tackle.
Oh, and then he took a dive.
The referee completely shuts out, says no corner. The 23 for the Regals, the midfielder, he'd come into the box and he saw his centre forward running down the right side, laid it off to him. And I honestly thought that the centre forward for the Regals got the touch before the slide tackle from Diaz, our left back, went in. And it looked like he'd knocked it past him and Diaz had brought him down. The referee deemed no penalty, which was very clear straight off the bat.
I think he might have called no penalty there because it was embellished so much. I thought it was that he fell a little late. He did have the advantage at one point, number 8, Charlie Austin.
Well, let's call him Austin. Listeners, if we say Austin, we mean number 8.
He's their big, bulky,
bearded centre forward.
Yeah.
And he's hobbling back into position now as we're looking to get this game back underway. It will be a goal kick for the Cavalry. He's struggling, is Austin.
Yeah, we haven't had much flow to the start of the second half, have we?
4 minutes in, and it's all been stop-start. Very staccato soccer here. The wind has died down a bit. I look out to the Lone Star and the Stars and Stripes flags. completely opposite me at the 400 feet mark for the baseball field, as it often is here for the Bombers. And the flags are fluttering, but nowhere near as much as they were in the first half. So not as much of a wind advantage for the Cavalry that the Regals had and failed to use in the first half. But here they have the ball in their own half, looking to build a bit of possession and then move forward again down this left side. Number 11, their left back, runs forward, cuts and field, 22, who's been a real playmaker so far in this half. Loses the ball, but the Regals have it again, just inside the Cavalry half. Long ball, long and to absolutely no end. Jonathan Diaz will safely collect that down the far left corner.
I think the guy that he was trying to connect with was offside, so he had to just let the ball float over his head.
There you go, yep.
And so it made it look like a errant pass.
Gersey finds Jones, who lays it out wide to Diaz, the left back. He's got so much space. What's he going to do with it? Is he going to run? Cossier wants the ball. And it kind of just comes to a stop, and it's a poor pass from Diaz. Cossier has to lift his head and find Ronaldo on this right side.
So I've Cossier, Chelsea under 18, but is he English?
Yes,
he is an English.
He is English.
Okay. He is a stocky young man.
He should be playing the other type of football, I think.
Yeah, for under 18. You know, he reminds me too of, he's kind of got although he's a little shorter, but he's almost got like a rugby body.
He is.
With barrel-chested young man.
I'd love him on my rugby team back home.
Yeah, I'd run behind him.
I'd get out his way.
Well, if he's on your team, you don't have to get out of his way.
Even then. And here is Cossier. He looks to intercept the ball. He doesn't. And here come the Regals finally down this right side. Good through ball. And Austin was almost in, but very good tackle from Garza. And not only does he make the tackle, but he finds Ronaldo down this left side. Good stuff there. Here comes Cossier on the edge of the box, takes a long shot, straight to the keeper's hands.
That's one thing about the shorter players and the quickness of their shot, that they can get that off. I mean, I never really thought he was going to take a shot there, and he just he laced it right into the goalkeeper's chest from probably 25 yards out. It looks like that's what he's looking for all the time, too.
Here come the Regals now, approaching the Cavalry half. Billy Jones does his best to block it, and it goes out for a Cavalry throw-in as their right winger failed to control the ball. Just over 8 minutes gone here, still 2-0 to the Cavalry.
I think, you know, if you wouldn't have told me all the stats that you did at the beginning of the game about the Regals, I would not have believed it, because not like they've been impressive, but they've definitely shown spurts and have some speed, and the defense is keeping its shape pretty well. Obviously, maybe got a little tired at the end of that first half, which is why it took until near the end for the Cavalry to get their 2 goals.
And I think that will show. The Cavalry obviously an affiliate of Houston Dynamo. All of our players do come from the Dynamo in some shape or form. And I think their fitness from the high-level training that they do all year round is beginning to show, and Billy Jones comes clattering into his opposite number there, but nothing happens. And here comes Austin down this right side into the box. He's on Diaz, and he almost finds the net. He does find a net. It's the side netting, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, keeper had the near post totally covered. Don't know whether he should have tried a different type of shot or maybe even pulled it back, but he showed a little bit of speed there, Charlie Austin. I don't remember Charlie Austin having that kind of speed for Southampton.
No,
but,
Austin's not pacey. He
no.
makes up for it in other areas.
Yeah.
And here come the Regals on the D of the box. Looked like he was going to shape up for a long shot, their midfielder, but instead he kind of just lets it get intercepted.
I'd like to see a little bit more out of, and he took the goal well, and he does seem very calm on the ball, but I think the Cavalry should probably use Mitchell Cardenas a little bit more to control the game. Maybe get forward a little bit faster.
Yeah, we're only 9 minutes in, but he's definitely had a quiet beginning to the second half. And
yeah.
Good ball there. Velasquez comes deep to pick it up, his first touch of the half.
You'd think a guy with Cardenas's experience would play a bigger role in a game like this, but he hasn't done anything wrong. I just feel like there's a little bit more. There could be a little bit more forward on him, getting the ball forward a little bit quicker to the wings and the center forward for the Cavalry. I think that's what they're also hoping out of Kosia. But I've noticed from Kosia, he doesn't move around too much. I mean, you get him the ball. It's kind of like you get him the ball, and then once he's got it, he knows what he wants to do with it. But he's not going to be making any deep runs.
And Velasquez almost laid it off to Cardenas, like we were speaking about, but intercepted. And Ronaldo Rodriguez chests it down on his right-hand side. He's having a tussle with the left back here, and it's going to come slowly. He's going to use his body to shield the ball. Good tackle from the left back, and here come the Regals down the left-hand side.
Oh, very good ball. It wasn't taken very well, but that was a great ball from the left back. Right down the wing, about 30, 40 yards, but left winger should have just chested it down. He just kind of let it slide right by him out of bounds. Those are times where I don't think players should be really rattling at each other during the game and stuff, but that's the kind of ball where when you send it down there and there wasn't much of an effort made to connect. If I'm that center back, I'm going to say something, I think.
I liked it. Here comes Schuster now, approaching the box. Is he going to take on the shot? He does. Intercepted. Took far too many touches.
Yeah, I was going to say, he probably should have shot that at least one touch earlier before the defense clamped down on him. I mean, he had space.
Oh, and Billy Jones brings down a midfield. The referee says play on it. A number of questionable calls here from the referee.
He's letting him play.
Good to see. It's only a friendly, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but you don't want anybody hurt in a friendly.
Here comes Schuster, long shot, fires it straight to the keeper, fumbles it. Velasquez almost picks up the scrap. Velasquez listened to us, obviously, because as soon as he found that ball, by fluke really, just a rebound off someone's leg, found himself with the ball just under 30 yards out, and it sat up for him very nicely on the half volley, funded it, bouncing into the keeper. The keeper had to deal with it, and he didn't deal with it properly, and Velasquez almost picked up the rebound. Here comes Austin down the right side for the Regals. Cuts it back in, intercepted by Diaz. Not very well though, and Regals almost scored a goal there. Almost
after watching that last shot by Schuster and the way the keeper handled that, I would take a few more shots from distance, I think, with him. And because, I mean, not just that he didn't handle it, he just didn't look confident in wanting to handle it.
No, definitely not. He's conceded two, but he's had a quiet game, and that's the
I think both goals were good goals. He couldn't have done too much about it, but But then again, but he hasn't really made the those other friendlies. We've been talking about the goal, all the goals that the Cavalry had. Both those goalkeepers in those friendlies played pretty good games. But I don't think he's been tested as much to tell whether or not how good of a game is.
And that's why I'm such a fan of the occasional long shot.
Yeah, see what he's got.
Keepers daydream. They'll admit that themselves. Goalkeepers like to daydream.
Hey, look at De Gea. He daydreamed on Ronaldo's second goal in that 3-3 game.
Regals corner comes in, it's long, high, and Gersi heads it only as far as number 9 for Regals, who scuffs the body shot, and here come the Cavalry. Diaz down this left wing. He's sprinting with it. Who's he going to see? Cosia wants it. He gives it
plenty
to
of space.
Gregorio Romero on the center of the field. He's got numbers flocking forward. He cuts into the left box, takes a shot, blocked. He finds the ball with the rebound, chests it. Velasquez has this ball down the left-hand side, brings it back to Diaz about 40 yards out.
Romero had a chance there to find Velasquez with a through ball, but he waited too long, and I think
Velasquez lifts up the
Romero
cross,
had to hold up his run, and then it was through. The play was through.
Romero had 3 people. He had Cosia just to the right of him, Schuster on the right wing, and Velasquez on the left wing. He was running down the center of the pitch and decided to do it all on his own, and he took a shot with so many players in between him and the keeper.
And Velasquez definitely had the run down. Just all he had to do was just hit it with the outside of his foot with very little pace at all, and he would have found Velasquez at the top of the box.
Oh, lovely.
That was a nice long ball.
Finds Ronaldo on this right-hand side. Through ball to Velasquez. Velasquez clips it. He's on the D of the box, and his touch is just a bit too heavy. Sends back for the Regals, gets rid of it. And he's running down this left-hand side. One-on-one Ronaldo. Oh, he has the pace. He's completely outdone Ronaldo there. And Ronaldo's still chasing him, and the left back still has the ball. And Ronaldo.
I think that was one of those. Ronaldo showed some speed, so I think it was one of those things where Ronaldo didn't think the the Regal player had speed, and once he saw that he did, he turned his jets on, and
he had to foul him to get the ball back.
Yeah.
And the referee saw that, and here come the Regals again down this left side.
But at one point he wasn't even
one-on-one with the keeper. Regals shoots, intercepted. Sorry there, Rich.
No, yeah,
Came out of nowhere, that shot.
Yeah, but at one point during that run down the left side, Ronaldo was probably 5 yards behind the left winger, so he caught him, but then he fouled him. I'm not sure he had to, but because there was still plenty of room before they would have got into the real danger zone.
Another corner for the Regals. Fails to find a black and white shirt, and it's headed out by a Cavalry player. No,
Yep.
not out yet. There
Nope.
we go. Schuster clears the danger. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Still 2-0 to the Cavalry, but the game is heating up. The drums are beating harder and faster than they were in the first half.
Which is pretty good because they were beating pretty hard and fast
They
and
were.
loud, definitely loud.
Long shot from Regals. Rosed, if we had one. Back there.
Do what?
Rosie, should I say. That would have been in Rosie if we had a,
Rosie?
Rosie.
Yeah, Rosette. Yeah, I got it.
Sometimes I forget where I am.
Yeah.
I'm watching an English sport.
You're watching a world sport.
I am.
But there's also more. There's also a few more countries than England that say Z too. So
Most of
you're okay with that.
And here come the Cavalry. In the last couple of minutes, their passing's been a lot crisper, a lot sharper, taking far less
but
touches.
right there, Ronaldo had the ball and he had space, and he just waited kind of like, and he could have gone forward with it with the ball himself.
Velasquez tries to play a 1-2 with Schuster on the edge of the box, but it's just intercepted in time. Here come the Regals, and what I like to see about the Regals is as soon as they get the ball, they try to intercept, but no, sorry, not Diaz. Romero on this left side came chasing back to his opposite number, and the Regals player obviously didn't see him, and Romero just came from behind and nicked it straight off him and won the ball back for his team. Good defensive stuff there from an attacking left winger, so that's nice to see.
I think the difference between this team and the other two friendlies is this team's got some speed.
They do.
And I think that's where the Cavalry kind of took advantage of some of those other teams in the friendlies. Speed down the wing. And of course,
Schuster's down.
Of course, one of the Cavalry's fastest players, Viveros, is not here, and
He's having a break.
Yeah, and he should have a break. He got hurt in that last game against OKC.
Oops. Mason Schuster's back on his feet, but he's running with a bit of a limp. Here come the Regals, another fruitless attack for them. Schuster went down, and I thought he was just staying down because he was just annoyed at himself for a lack of opportunity there, but he was injured. He's back on his feet. That's good to see. He called over the trainer, and I can see him shouting over to the bench, and it looks like he's going. Yep, here comes the substitution. Here comes. It looks like Steve's going to come on.
For Schuster? Did you say?
He's the only sub they have left.
Yeah.
Here come the Regals in the penalty area, and the ball just went straight across the face of goal. Not a single Regals player was there to tap it in. If they were, it would have been a goal. They would have pulled one back, but there wasn't, and it's still 2-0, but the Regals still have the ball. They've been in the third, camped in the third of the Cavalry for a couple of minutes now. That cross goes straight into the hands of Abrams, and he's just going to take a second, let everyone run back into position.
He should take a second, because what's happened here is that's one of the Regals' better spells, and he needs the team to settle down, gain its shape, figure out what they want to do. They're up 2-0. I think the thing is as we keep saying with this friendly, is they expect to be up more than 2-0.
Oh, for sure. Beautiful stuff there. Diaz to Velasquez. Velasquez with the outside of his foot managed to find a through ball in for Romero, and nothing came of it. But Velasquez some of his passes have just been out of this world. Abrams comes out his box, and he had to deal with the danger he does. A through ball very similar to the two that scored the Cavalry goals, and Charlie Austin of the Regals looked to be through there, and Abrams came a good 30 yards out from his goal, and he had to get to the ball first, and he did just in time and hoofs it out of play. But here come the Regals again. They've really got a good spell going here, and the Cavalry are going to have to weather this storm for a few minutes, Rich, with 26 minutes to go.
Yeah, they haven't found I don't believe they've found their form at all in this second half. I mean, I don't know if they're, and that's where I say Mitchell Cardenas maybe needs to take over a little bit more. He's the guy with the most experience. He's the guy obviously with some talent to be on some of the teams that he's played for, and he needs to be a little bit more of a presence than he is.
Here come the Regals again. Another shot fired wide, but they're getting closer and closer. Are the Regals? Their possession has drastically improved in this second half.
I think we're getting Steve in here now for.
Steve in for Mason Schuster. It's a shame because he only came on at halftime.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with what I've seen from him this season. It hasn't been a lot, but when he does come on the field, I've really liked him. And it's a shame he picked up that knock. Just got clipped in the back of the leg there.
And I know he played. Didn't he? He played in the very first friendly and had a really good game in that very first friendly. I remember that. But I haven't seen him since then until now. So you're right. He hasn't had many opportunities. This has changed things around too, because Kosia looks like he's going more to the right side, and Steve is going to be the central midfielder.
He's going to be the number 10.
Yeah.
Or in the 10 position. We call him Steve because, listeners, his actual name is, as we see Cavalry come down this left side. I'm interrupting myself here. Romero down this left side. Good turn. He completely outdoes the left back. He's running into the box. He's got no help at all. He needs people. Lays it off to Steve. Diaz down this left side. Looks to whip in across. He doesn't. He chooses to give it to Romero, that man who started all of this, and it's a poor pass. And back to Diaz again. Steve, who's even stockier than Casilla. We've got some two big boys in the midfield now for the Cavalry, which we're not used to seeing, especially in
we're not.
We're really seeing some skinny boys. But here come the Regals now. It's their number 9, their midfielder. He's clear. He's got 2 central defenders to beat. He's got to beat Garcia. He's got to beat Ghazi. He lays it off to his right winger, number 12, on the edge of the 6-yard box. Does a step over, jinks back in field, and loses the ball, and it goes out for a throw. And exciting stuff here at Travis Field.
I think they replaced Charlie Austin. I hate for them to have replaced Charlie, the one guy that we've named.
They haven't. I just don't think he had, like you said, he didn't have the pace to get onto the end of that, but he let someone else do it.
I was going to say, because
and
usually.
Here they come again, the Regals. Sorry, Rich. Oh, straight across the face of goal, and they pick it up on the left side. Then number 7 looks to whip it in. Is he going to? He does, and oh, wow, that's an absolutely shocking cross. It's gone straight out of play, and a real wasted opportunity there for the away side, because they're not going to be on top for the rest of it. There's still 24 minutes to play, Rich, and they're not going to be on top the whole time. They need to make the most of this, whether it's another minute or 5 or 10 minute spell they're going to have. They need to make the most because the Cavalry will come back with chances.
The Cavalry better because, I mean, like I said, it's not a team that's looked really on form here in this second half. New guys, new positions, I think, because obviously Cosia's already played 2 positions in 15-20 minutes. I'm not really sure that's his best position out there on the wing. Doesn't look like a runner to me, and I always like my wings to be the pace, to have the pace, and the guys that want to have the pace and go back and forth and can actually come back and help.
As they do for the Regals, and this time their right winger, number 1. It's weird to see an Alfred play number 1, but he is wearing number 1. He came off his right wing and he's got a good left foot on him for a right winger, and he curled that shot. Fortunately, Abrams was there to stop it, and he's very nearly intercepted that pass. A stray pass from Gabriel Gersi there.
Cardenas did a nice job of juking him with almost played like a dummy.
Because if their number 1 had gone the end of that, it'd be 1-on-1 with Abrams. Fortunately for us, he didn't. And here comes Billy Jones. He's running forwards. He looks to find a player. No, he's still got the ball. Finds Velasquez on the edge of the Velasquez cuts onto his right foot, blazes it over the bar.
He took the wrong first touch with that. It looked like he should have let that out to his left foot and then kick it with his left foot. He would have had come across his body. He took it with his right foot before it got across his body, and he kind of put it right back into the defender. That
it did. It got tangled under his feet, and he tried to unstick it, and in doing so, blasted it over the bar. But he's playing a number 9 centre forward role. Just behind him is in a number 10 role. Wearing number 13 is Steve. We call him Steve because, and I apologize in advance for this, his name is Welaji Chikakoa. I probably got that completely wrong. He's actually appeared in the squad for the Cameroon under-20s, extremely impressive, but he's got an English name. He goes by Steve, and that's what I'll be calling him tonight. Rich, feel free to go ahead and pronounce that if you like.
Okay, when he scores, I'll give him the Cameroon name.
And here's Casilla, lovely little back heel to himself. He runs, finds the left winger, Romero.
See, I like Kosia on the ball, but I'm not sure he's the guy that you're gonna send down the line or make great runs with or anything like that.
Romero, good bit of skill there with his opposite number, the number 1 for the Regals, who's about twice his size in width and height. Romero, just a short boy, but extremely skillful, extremely talented. And here come the Regals down this right side. 21 minutes to play here at Travis Field. It's still 2-0 to your Cavalry. You're listening to The Zone, 102.7 FM and Sports Radio 1150. I'm Zach Carr. The other voice you're listening to is the wonderful Rich Kroom. giving you live coverage of this friendly game between your Cavalry and the Houston Regals SCA. And it's a long ball from the Regals, and it's intercepted by Diaz, who lays it back off to Garza, centre back, who sprays it right to Ronaldo on this right side. Billy Jones now entering the Regals half, lifts his head up, and he looks to find Velasquez, a long 40.
Oh, such a great ball by Billy Jones. 45-degree angle, probably 40 to 50 yards right on the foot, and it just, his first touch just took it out of bounds. That was...
It's like his foot was a spring. It bounced
Yeah.
straight off.
Yeah, he should have just taken that with his outside of his foot, and he could have gone back inside with it because he had room. I mean, that's how much the pass left him open. It gave him plenty of space.
Beautiful stuff from Jones, and I've really been impressed with him. The Mancunian from New Zealand. Spent the first 12 years of his life in Manchester, England, moved out to New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, a big rugby country, but he decided to stick with soccer. And we're glad here tonight, especially because he's had a real good game as Billy Jones, been one of the best players on the field, as has this man Diaz on the left side. Lays it off to captain Cardenas. He's had a quiet second half as Mitchell Cardenas, but slowly getting back into the game. That man Jones again, lays it off to Velasquez. Velasquez, lovely touch, takes a long shot from 25 yards out, straight to the keeper. And
he let that slide by him. That's what I'm saying. Take some shots at this guy because he's not. He certainly can't be giving the coach confidence over there with the way he's handling these shots, because the last two, they've been okay shots, but they've been right at the keeper and they've actually caused trouble.
Regals now down this left-hand side on the edge of the box, one-on-one with Ronaldo. Ronaldo can't deal with it, and the cross comes thundering into the 6-yard box, and it bounces straight off the shin of Luis Garza, and it goes out for a throw-in for the Regals, about 10 yards from the byline for the away side. Here they come down this left side again, and now they're just spraying it about their midfield. Good touch there from Austin, long shot and just wide of the right post. Good touch there from Austin.
We always talk about the where we sit, and we essentially can see half the field a whole lot better than the other half. And I thought this half we were going to get to watch a whole lot more of this game, and it hasn't been that way because the Cavalry is being flat out saying they're being outplayed right now. They've been outplayed since the start of the second half.
Not being the best. 27 minutes for the Cavalry. 27 minutes gone here in the second half. Just 18 minutes to play plus added time, which the referee didn't even bother with in the first half.
Yeah, I didn't think
he actually cut the first half 45 seconds short.
Yeah, and there was two stoppages, right, for injuries.
There should have been lots of added time. It's probably because it's only a friendly, but
yeah, maybe so.
Ever since that whistle's gone, Rich, completely killed the momentum of the Cavalry. They had those 2 late goals in the first half. One on the 41st minute, one on the 44th or something like that, and they really were beginning to hit their peak, and they were getting into 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, playing such good soccer. And since that break, it's killed the momentum, and Regals have really benefited from the half-time 15-minute period. Here come the Cavalry
But
again.
it's the Cavalry's responsibility to pick that back up. I mean, you can't just blame the 15-minute halftime break on poor
goes down
play.
to the ground. The referee literally gestures to Billy Jones to get up off the ground. Jones, I've never seen him so high up on a soccer field. Was in the penalty box, got ball down. Steve takes the long shot, curls it straight. Another fumble from the Regals keeper.
Yeah, he kept it in front of him though. I think he had control of that, even though he didn't catch it. He at least he knew what he was doing with it.
I couldn't trust him to run me a path.
Nah, if we wouldn't have seen the first two, you might not have said anything about that third one. But with those first two that he's let kind of fumble, you kind of wonder with every shot.
Meandering into his arms, and their keeper somehow finding a way of keeping it out of his own arms and giving the Cavalry players, if they're there in the position, a chance to pick up on the scraps. Good ball from Jones, just a tad too heavy, ever so slightly
Yeah,
heavy.
that's one thing. If you're the Cavalry players, you've got to look at that. It's like every time someone looks like they're going to take a shot, you need to be running in towards the 6-yard box because the ball might be there after the keeper's made his first initial save.
There's a long shot from the Regals. And it's curling, and Abrams does well to get his body in the way of it.
Yeah, and it looked like, by doing well, I agree with what you said there, because it looked like he did not see that until late because of his defender probably blocked his view from the shot.
And it looks like your man, Charlie Austin, number 8, he's sitting back in a much deeper role, and number 9, who's a lot more slender and much quicker,
Yeah, that's
much more further forward.
once again, that's a mistake by the Regals. Charlie Austin needs to be up there where he can score goals. Charlie Austin, all he does is score goals.
All he does is score. Let's hope he doesn't for the sake of the Cavalry.
Well, he's not going to from where he's playing right now.
No. Diaz, he manages to find Steve. Steve touched the ball. Brilliant back pass and almost find Velasquez, but Velasquez
It was
just
a good
gets
idea.
tackled.
It wasn't quite on target, though. There's Charlie.
And here comes number 1, the right back for the Regals. And Garza does well to get his body in front of the player and passes it back to Abrams.
I think with number 1 and number 9 up there instead of Charlie Austin, they've put more speed up there. I think that's probably what they're trying to do. But
sure.
I kind of like the way Charlie Austin
Well, there we go. He's
can
just
control
beaten,
the ball. Yeah.
Just beaten Steve in a 50-50
Yeah.
challenge. He's got the pace. Number 9. Here comes Austin running forward. He's got the ball. He takes the shot, and it just blazes over the corner of the right of the crossbar. The right corner of the crossbar. Brilliant stuff there. He won a 50-50 challenge with Steve, who is a big boy, is Steve, number 13, in the center circle. Won the ball, laid it off to number 9. Brilliant 1-2, running into the box on the right-hand side and blazed the shot. Real power, just lacked the accuracy. And Noah Abrams was in trouble there if that was on target.
Yeah, and I think I don't know whether these guys have played the substitutes that they've put in there. Have they had much time recently? Because they don't look like they're really on form and confident with what they want to do. Everything's kind of conservative, and they're really not putting the Regals in any danger whatsoever. The back line of the Regals really hasn't been tested at all in the second half.
The Cavalry attacking rate has dropped, but what hasn't dropped here, Rich, is the
The
fan
drums.
work rate.
Yeah, the drums.
Brilliant stuff from our fans here at Travis Field. And here come the Regals yet again down this right side. It's laid off. It's whipped in. Good header there from Garza. He's had a much better first half. Very quiet in the second half.
But to see again, that was one of those things where he had all the time in the world to pick somebody out with that cross. Nobody had closed in on the winger for the Cavalry.
Romero on this left-hand side finds Velasquez, who's dropped deep. I keep saying that, but Velasquez for a number 9 has become very deep in the field. That shows how hungry he is for the ball. Is he hungry for a goal? Are the Cavalry hungry for a third, as hungry as Regals are to find their first? Another poor pass there.
I would answer that question with no. The Regals seem a lot more hungrier. And you're not seeing runs. You're not seeing, just the quick, intense 5-6 yard runs with 2 or 3 connecting passes from the Cavalry right now. When they lose the ball, they kind of stand around. Well, that has to be a foul on the Regals, yes.
Diaz has had to come right off his left back position into the center of the field because the centre backs of Garza and Guernsey weren't just.
I think we're having a
standing
substitute
up
here.
We are?
Yeah, because can you sub back in?
No, it's a brand new player. It's actually one of our backroom staff.
Yeah, Velasquez, he might have come out just because he just didn't look like he was playing hard. I don't know if he's got a knock or if he knew he was coming out here in the last 5 minutes, so he's kind of taking it down a notch or what. But maybe we'll see a little more hustle. We'll definitely see whoa, the
long shot from number 9 again. And this time he finds us. Good save from Abrams. And once again, the number 9, the centre forward this half for the Regals, has been given so much time and space by our centre backs. They're sitting back on the edge of their box, and the number 9 for the Regals says, "Okay, I'm going to run at you, and when I get to you, I'm going to shoot." And this is the 3rd shot now in the last few minutes that he's gone low to the right of Abrams.
And you're talking about the back 4 too, but also you got like both Billy Jones and Mitchell Cardenas are almost like the holding midfielders, and maybe they need to be there at the top of the box.
Another shot from that number 9, this time nowhere near the goal. Abrams can see that one pass. Substitution, like you said, Rich, Miguel Velasquez is off for Kenny Horner. Kenny Horner is on. Kenny's actually one of the coaching staff, and he thought, you know what? I'm going to put my boots on, get my cleats on, and I'm going to have a run around and see if I can do any better than these lot. And you can definitely tell he's a lot older than everyone else.
He's definitely a lot bigger.
He is.
He's on the rugby side. Boy, if he scores, how are they going to celebrate if he scores?
I think there'll be a bit of a riot, and in a good way. I think
you
everyone
think
will be happy
Velasquez might have been hurt? Is that why they brought in?
I think Velasquez has a big game on Sunday against Corpus Christi, and I think we're resting him.
Yeah. Well, he was playing like he was being rested for that last 5 or 10 minutes.
That's the type of person he is. He's very hot and cold, is Miguel Velasquez. Who is hot right now is the Regals. They come down the far side again. Another shot from number 9. Fired in. Really tight angle. And Abrams did well to react. And it was straight at him because of the angle, just by nature of it.
I mean, in the last 10 minutes, Abrams had to make 6 saves. I mean, there's been at least 6 shots on goal in the last 10 minutes.
And almost all of them from that number 9.
And almost all of them where he's had to move to make the save. It's not like he's, like he's just picking up a shot that rolls in on him and that I could save.
Here comes the Regal again. Number 9 takes a shot. Abrams, brilliant save again on this far corner. Down the right-hand side, Regals decided.
He's having to guard his near post very to the maximum, and I think he's starting to get a little frustrated with his defense because
I would be too.
He just motioned to them a little bit after that last one. Well, he just had to make another save on a corner.
And Abrams is really being tested here.
Coach Clarkson was here. I think that he'd be pushing these guys a little bit harder to get forward because they're playing with a little fire. I know they have 2 goals, and even if the Regals get a goal, they're still down. But in all honesty, the Regals deserve a goal this half. They've played well. Put a lot of shots on goal. At least 7 with that corner would make probably the 7th in the last 10 minutes. Players like Cardenas now, who's got the ball, kind of like letting them set up the offense, letting them set up what they want to do. But, I mean, we really have not. How many times have we seen the ball literally inside the Regals penalty box this half? Maybe twice,
exactly.
At the most.
9 minutes to play here at Travis Field. 2-0 to the Cavalry, but the Regals have had their chances to get back in the game. How many chances will they have? Will they rue those chances? Here they come again.
You said earlier, about 15 minutes ago, that the Regals needed to score because they weren't going to have control of this game the entire time. But they might be proving you a liar on that because they've had control.
They've had all the possession and all the territory since then. Yeah.
It's
Here
like
comes another cross in, cleared by Gaza. Only as far as the Regals player. Oh, there's a big 50-50 challenge. They clatter into each other. The referee says play on. And here come the Cavalry. No, they don't. Corner can't get on the end of that.
Regals bringing the ball back up again after giving it back to the keeper. Horner chasing after everybody. At least they're pressing a little bit with him in the game. He's out there. He's going to be hustling. The skill level might not be as high, but he's definitely going to be hustling. The Regals bringing it forward again and getting a free kick, probably 45 yards from the goal, and a nice angle to probably throw something in to the top of the box. We'll see what they do with it. Everybody, they just took the quick one. Oh, the referee made him take it back. He wasn't ready. I think the Regals are wasting a chance here if they don't throw this ball into the box, which they didn't. They just did another little short kick and looking now for it. All they're doing is giving the Cavalry time to set their shape and be ready for anything in the air, whereas...
And another shot from the Regals, and Abrams did well to get in the way of that. It was straight at him, but real pace and power on that.
He handled that one well. He didn't catch it, but he didn't allow a rebound, really. That's the way the goalkeepers are doing it these days. It's almost like they knock it straight down into the ground so that they can pick it up with the bounce.
Here come the Regals again. Cavalry failed to do anything with the possession they had, and they come forward now, 30 yards out.
Really disappointed. We were excited about getting to see the Cameroon players and the young lad from Chelsea, and
they haven't had any of the
really haven't seen much from them, have we?
Another long shot.
That was a little ambitious. I mean, that was one where
they're getting the shots in,
and
getting the stats up.
Yeah, that's true. If you got a goal for every so many shots, then they could be right in it right now. But I am positive that Abrams has had to make at least 10 saves this half.
For sure. There's 6.5 minutes left here. Regals looking to find a way back into this game. They've had all the possession and territory this half, but here come the Cavalry now. The crowd is still going the ante has really been up to another level in the last few minutes. But here come the Regals. Every time the Cavalry get the ball, it's been like a reverse of the first half. Every time the Cavalry get the ball, intercepted straight away. They're doing a really bad job of keeping the ball. Here come the Regals, this time down the left. They haven't been down the left in a while. Overlap played. Can the cross come in? It comes in, but it's blocked, and it's a corner for the Regals.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the most dangerous player for them in the first half was number 15. They took him out, and they've been dangerous this whole half as a team.
Fired straight into the head of Ronaldo. And here's that man, number 9, and I have great news for you, Rich. I have a name for him.
What's his name?
As the shot comes in for the... Oh, he's hit the post. Or was it the crossbar? I think it was right on the corner there.
Yeah, right on the corner of it.
Out of nowhere, 30 yards out, a long curling shot, and Abrams was planted to the ground like his feet were in concrete, and he had nothing. But I have a name for that man, number 9. His name is Charlie Flores. That's Charlie Flores. Flores, he's really been the best player for the Regals. He's had a number of shots. And he's a former academy player from RGV, Rio Grande Villa, and he's straight out of high school. So he's a young lad, only 18 or 19 years of age, and boy, is he making a name for himself tonight. Charlie Flores, number 9
he may get
for the Regals.
As they say, he may get a look from some better teams with what he's done.
Good tackle from Hona here, but he's got all of it to do on his own, and he loses out on the ball again. But Steve picks up on the scraps. No, he lets the ball go to Jones. They're now inside the Regals' half.
It seems that every time the Cavalry makes a pass, you should be the guy that's most open for a return pass, and yet they're not looking for that at all. It's almost like as soon as they pass the ball away, they're out of the play. They kind of just stop in their tracks and they're out of the play, and really. You talked about the effort, the game that I did not get to do. Kind of questioning that a little bit in this half.
Here come the Cavalry. Romero whips in across. It gets blocked. It goes as far out to Steve. Can he control the ball? No, he can't. And he loses out again. And here come the Regals on the counter. Number 13 sprays it out to that man, Flores. He's now one-on-one with a centre-back. He's running. He's still running. Enters the box. And Diaz gets him down the shoulder. He brings him down. Is that a penalty? The referee says play on.
No, I wouldn't have given penalty. That. No, I think Flores brought that on because Diaz, he didn't know Diaz was there. Diaz took it from him, and then he kind of fell over Diaz after Diaz took it from him.
Quick corner taken by the Regals. A long shot taken again. It's blocked. Only as far out as their midfielder. 3.5 minutes here to play at Travis Field. And it's gone through absolutely everyone across that no one bothered to deal with, and almost picked up by the left winger of the Regals. But it's cleared for a throw-in now. The drums are beating as they have all game, and the Regals are going forward as they have done all of the second half. And one of their players goes forward, but referee says play on. One of their players went down, sorry, but he's back on his feet now. 3 minutes to play here. 2-0 Cavalry.
It looks like we're having another substitute. The Cavalry just keep throwing people out there that you didn't know they even had.
No.
And you're the guy that gives them their jerseys.
I lay out the numbers, but I get told what numbers they wear, Rich, and then I lay them out for them, and then they
it's not your fault if they pick up the wrong shirt, right?
And here comes the substitution. Billy Jones is off. That's Billy Jones off, on for Angel Saita. Because it's not a conference game, it's not a PDL, not a competitive game, we can have rolling subs, and Saita, who came off at halftime, is back on because he is a big boy, good physical presence. Billy Jones has had a very good game. As the Regals cross comes in, Flores with the header, just over the bar. And another play comes out of nowhere. Flores didn't even have to jump for that header.
I know.
He was there was no one there.
No one's marking.
It's been
no one's closing down on crosses.
It's been such a poor defensive showing this second half.
Well, it's not just a defensive showing. It's been a poor showing. The defense has had to play the entire half because the midfield has done nothing to contain the ball and bring it upfield, take the pressure off of that back four.
And a ball goes astray for the Regals. Another one over the top that Abrams picks up. 1 minute, 47 seconds to go here, Travis Field. It looks like the Cavalry will get the win. I was about to say 3 points. It's not 3 points, it's just a friendly, but a W is always nice. However, they really do need to work on a lot of stuff ahead of their game on Sunday. And here come the Regals again. Then number 11 is just 1 through 4 players, and he takes on the shot and very nearly in. Players were just backing off him. He had 3 or 4 round him, but none of them bothered to stick in a foot. Probably
I felt number 1 might have got there and just been able to slot it in at the far corner. I think, despite, this is going to be a 2-0 Cavalry win, and I'd give player of the game to Charlie Flores.
So I was about to ask you, Rich. We're about to finish now. There's a minute to go. Who is your man of the match? Is anyone from the Cavalry?
Billy
Jones has had a good game.
Billy Jones
Diaz
did have a good game. Kevin Rodriguez looked good in the first half, and then he came out for Schuster, who then got hurt.
DuPont had a good game as well. I'd say it's between DuPont, Diaz, and.
Yeah, I'd give it to Jones or Rodriguez, but like I said, I mean,
that's on the Cavalry side.
Yeah, on the Cavalry side. If you want to give it as a man of the match, I'd give it to Flores, and the official just
I'm happy with that.
blew the game dead.
Full time here at Travis
You
Field.
can see the Regals are disappointed that they weren't able to
lose.
That they didn't get that goal because they deserved it. They really did deserve a goal. I've never seen a lot of shots. And a lot of shots on target. I mean, sometimes you get a team that shoots 15 times in a half and maybe only 4 or 5 of them are on target.
Sure, yeah.
I would say that at least 2/3 of their shots were on target in that second half.
They put on a very good showing, especially in the second half. It finishes your Brazos Valley Cavalry 2, Houston Regals SCA 0. You're listening to The Zone 102.7 FM and Sports Radio 1150. We are going to take a break now. We're all going to catch our breath and get a sip of water or maybe something stronger depending on what side you support, because that was an exhilarating second half. We're going to be going now for a quick commercial break. When we're back, Rich and I will be analysing what has been a really eventful game, especially the second half. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Chelsea Reber with